In a corner of a quiet little town, there lived a fat cat with a bulky body. This fat cat spent the whole day either lazing in the sun or wholeheartedly looking for delicious food, being completely indifferent to everything else in the world. Its chubby body was like a furry ball. When it ran, its belly swayed from side to side like a water-filled bulb, looking really funny. One day after having a big meal, the fat cat comfortably lay on the soft lawn to bask in the sun. The warm sunlight shone on it gently, as if a pair of tender hands were caressing it softly. Unconsciously, the fat cat slowly closed its eyes and fell into a sweet sleep. In the dream, the fat cat was surprised to find itself in an unprecedented wonderful world, the kingdom of Gourmet. Everything here was closely related to delicious food. The streets were like being paved meticulously with rich chocolate. The houses seemed to be cleverly built with crispy biscuits, and even the brightly colored flowers by the roadside were actually made of colorful candies. The fat cat's eyes lit up with excitement. First, it curiously stuck out its tongue and gently licked the chocolate street, and the rich and smooth taste instantly burst on its taste buds. Then, it couldn't help but take a bite of the biscuit house. The crunch sound echoed in the quiet street, and the crumbs fluttered down. The fat cat happily trotted along the street. Before long, a magnificent castle came into view. The gate of the castle slowly opened, and a little mouse dressed in an exquisite chef's uniform rushed out from inside. It said to the fat cat respectfully, "Dear Mr. Fat Cat, welcome to the Gourmet Castle. Your king has been waiting for you for a long time. Please follow me." The fat cat was both curious and expectant. It took small steps and closely followed the little mouse into the castle. The inside of the castle was filled with the alluring aroma of various kinds of food. Intertwined, the fragrance was like invisible silk threads, tightly entwined in the fat cat and making its mouth water. They walked through a winding long corridor, and finally arrived at a splendid hall. The hall was like a paradise of food, filled with a dazzling array of delicacies. The huge cream cake was like a small hell, emitting a sweet and cooling fragrance. The golden brown roasted chicken legs were neatly arranged on the plate, sizzling with oil and smelling fragrant. The colorful fruit platter was like a beautiful painting, and the fresh and juicy fruits made people, yes, mouths water just by looking at them. At the end of the hall sat a big mouse king wearing a dazzling crown, surrounded by a group of little mouse attendants, all looking solemn. When the big mouse king saw the fat cat, a bright smile immediately bloomed on his face, and he said enthusiastically, "Dear fat cat, you are the most honored guest in our kingdom of Gourmet. Today, I have specially prepared a grand and luxurious gourmet banquet for you." With that, a group of little mouse servants came out in a line, carrying plates of food in their hands and placing them in front of the fat cat one after another, like flowing clouds and running water. The fat cat could no longer hold back its excitement. It couldn't wait to plunge into the pile of food and began to gobble it up. First, it ate the cream cake in big mouthfuls. The delicate cream and the soft cake blended in its mouth, and the sweet taste instantly filled the whole mouth. Then, it grabbed a roasted chicken leg and took a big bite. The tender chicken and the crispy skin collided between its teeth, making a pleasant sound. The fat cat ate so forgetfully that its belly swelled up quickly like a balloon. Just when the fat cat was eating heartily, a lively and cute little rabbit hopped to its side. Looking at the mountain of food in front of the fat cat, the little rabbit's eyes sparkled, red with envy and longing. Shyly, it said to the fat cat, "Brother fat cat, could you share a little bit of food with me? I've never seen so many delicious foods." The fat cat was slightly stunned. It stopped what it was doing, looked at the little rabbit, and then glanced at the little food left in front of it. Although there was a tinge of reluctance in its heart, it still nodded reluctantly and said, "Okay, little rabbit, you can have a little." The little rabbit immediately beamed with joy. It jumped up excitedly, carefully picked up a small cake, gently put it in its mouth, and savored it carefully, constantly exclaiming while eating, "Wow, this is the most delicious thing I've ever eaten. It's so yummy." The fat cat continued to eat with gusto, enjoying the feast of food. At this time, a mischievous little monkey also swung over on a swing, seeing the fat cat and the little rabbit eating with relish. The little monkey's mouth watered with greed. It quickly approached the fat cat and said with a grin, "Brother fat cat, you can eat all the food by yourself. At least, leave some for me." The fat cat sighed helplessly and pretended to be generous, saying, Okay, there'll lions be sung for you." The little monkey was so excited that it danced with joy. It reached out and grabbed a big red apple, opened its mouth, and took a big bite. The juice of the apple splashed everywhere like a fountain, splashing onto the fat cat's face. The fat cat was amused and burst out laughing, and the hole was instantly filled with laughter. After having enough to eat and drink, the fat cat's curiosity grew stronger. It decided to wander around the kingdom of Gourmet and explore this amazing place thoroughly. It slowly walked along a path paved with candies. Not far away, it met an old turtle. The old turtle was slowly crawling by the roadside. When it saw the fat cat, it slowly raised its head and said in a hoarse and low voice, "Young man, do you know that there is a magical fruit tree deep in the kingdom of Gourmet? The fruits on the tree are said to possess incredible magical powers and can fulfill any wish. However, the journey to the fruit tree is full of hardships and obstacles, and countless people have given up halfway." The fat cat's ears lit up immediately, and a strong desire for adventure surged in its heart. Without hesitation, it said to the old turtle, "Thank you for telling me. We must go and look for that fruit tree." With that, it resolutely set off towards the depths of the kingdom. The fat cat walked and walked. Soon, it encountered a very wide river stretching across its path. This river was quite peculiar. The river water emitted a sweet and alluring smell. Looking closely, it turned out to be a honey river flowing with thick honey. Standing by the river, looking at the swift current, the fat cat scratched its ears and cheeks in anxiety, not knowing what to do. Just then, a huge hippopotamus slowly emerged from the river, its huge body creating ripples in the water. The hippopotamus said in a deep, muffled voice to the fat cat, "If you can help me find the golden spoon hidden under the huge lotus leaf on the other side of the river, a lion's carry you across the river." The fat cat, once overjoyed, it immediately agreed to the hippopotamus' condition. It carefully stepped on the candy stones exposed in the river and moved towards the other side with difficulty step by step. The candy stones were slippery and soft, and the fat cat nearly slipped and fell into the water several times. But it never gave up. Finally, after going through countless hardships, the fat cat successfully found the golden spoon. The hippopotamus kept its promise and slowly swam to the fat cat. The fat cat carefully climbed onto the hippopotamus' back, and the hippopotamus carried it smoothly across the honey river. After crossing the honey river, the fat cat continued to move forward and entered a foggy forest. This forest was like a fairyland, surrounded by hazy mist. The trees were tall and strange, all made of huge lollipops, and various brightly colored candy vines wound around them like snakes. The fat cat was admiring this dreamlike beauty when suddenly a loud and majestic roar came from the depths of the forest. The fat cat was startled. It stopped in its tracks vigilantly, eyes fixed on the direction from which the sound came. Soon, a huge brown bear slowly walked out of the forest. Its strong body was looming in the mist, like a small hill. The brown bear walked up to the fat cat, looked down at her from above, and said in a rough voice, "Outsider, this forest is my territory. If you want to pass through, you must compete with me." The fat cat, once extremely scared, its legs were shaking continuously, but it knew that it was useless to retreat at this time. So it summoned up courage and asked, "See, compete in what?" The brown bear pointed to a pile of nuts piled up like a mountain next to it and said, "See who can peel these nuts in the shortest time." The fat cat took a deep breath. It nimbly extended its two paws and quickly started to peel the nuts. Although it was fat, its movements were surprisingly agile, and its paws danced quickly like lightning. The brown bear was not to be outdone. Its thick paws squeezed hard, and the nutshells broke one after another after a fierce competition. The fat cat narrowly defeated the brown bear by virtue of its tenacious perseverance and excellent skills. Although the brown bear was a bit reluctant in its heart, it still kept its promise and stepped aside to let the fat cat pass. The fat cat carefully walked past. It then continued to move forward into the depths of the forest. After wandering in the foggy forest for a long time, the fat cat finally walked out of this mysterious forest. At this time, It was already exhausted, but as soon as it thought of soon reaching the place where the fruit tree was located, it was immediately filled with strength. It continued to move forward along a winding path. Before long, it saw the legendary fruit tree from afar. The fruit tree towered into the sky, like a huge umbrella reaching straight to the sky. The tree was hung with fruits that glowed with strange lights, as if they were the brilliant stars in the night sky. The fat cat's heart beat faster with excitement. It quickened its pace and rushed towards the fruit tree. When the fat cat came to the fruit tree, just as it was about to reach out and pick the fruits, suddenly, a guardian elf emitting a soft glow appeared in front of it. The elf waved its magic wand to stop the fat cat's action and said in a clear and pleasant voice, "These fruits are not to be picked casually. Only the brave who have a kind heart and can overcome numerous difficulties are worthy of having them. If you want to get the fruits, you must answer me a question." The fat cat nodded nervously, eyes fixed on the magic wand in the elf's hand. The elf slightly raised its head and asked, "In the kingdom of Gourmet, what do you think is the most precious?" The fat cat pondered for a moment. Memories of the bits and pieces with its friends along the way flashed through its mind. The happiness of sharing food with the little rabbit, the laughter brought by the little monkey, and the helping given by everyone when it encountered difficulties. It slowly raised its head and firmly answered, "In the kingdom of Gourmet, the most precious thing is sharing and friendship. During this adventure, I have received the help of many friends and also learned to share food with others. This friendship is more precious than any food." After hearing this, the elf showed a satisfied smile. It gently waved its magic wand, and the fruit shining with brilliant lights slowly floated down from the tree and landed steadily in the fat cat's hands. The fat cat carefully held the fruit, filled with joy and emotion. It knew that this fruit was not only a recognition of its courage, but also a witness to the friendship and growth it had gained during the adventure. It set off on its return journey with the fruit, secretly deciding to share this magic. And in the kingdom of Gourmet, when the fat cat returned to the castle with the fruit, the big mouse king and the friends it had made before had been waiting at the castle gate for a long time. Everyone was excited to see the fat cat return safely and surrounded it. The fat cat told everyone about its experiences during the adventure in detail, and the friends listened with great interest, occasionally letting out exclamations. Finally, the fat cat held the fruit high in the air and said loudly, "This fruit doesn't only belong to me, but to each of us, because it was our friendship and unity that enabled me to obtain it." With that, it gently placed the fruit on the ground. The fruit instantly emitted a brilliant and colorful light, enveloping the whole castle. Everyone felt endless warmth and happiness in the light, and they held hands and danced merrily around the fruit, and the laughter echoed in the castle for a long time. And in this kingdom of Gourmet, the fat cat also began a new chapter of its life. It was no longer just the fat cat that only knew how to eat greedily, but became a brave, kind and friendship-valuing adventurer. It with its friends continued to explore the unknown wonders in the kingdom of Gourmet, jointly writing their wonderful stories.